My dear students of class 10, how are you? I hope you are all well and you have been doing well. I hope to meet you after this summer vacation, but this pandemic situation or COVID-19 is not allowing us to meet physically, right? So we have to continue our teaching learning process through this medium as we had been doing before the vacation. Now we will start the next text, that is two stories about flying. Okay, so here are two stories. One is His First Flight by Liam O. Flaherty, and second one is Black Aeroplane by Frederick Forsyth. So first we will start His First Flight by Liam O. Flaherty. Liam O. Flaherty was an Irish short story writer and a novelist. Here in this particular story, he is talking about a bird who is for the first time attempting to fly, right? And the dilemma, the problems that is going or that is there in his mind. So he is portraying that dilemma, that problem here in this story. So before you read, since the earlier times, humans have dreamed of conquering the skies. So means from the past times, human beings, they dreamed to win over the skies. Right. Here are the two stories about flying. The first one, a young seagull. Who is seagull? It is not seagull, okay? It is seagull. One kind of bird. He is afraid to fly. And how does he conquer his fear? That we have to find out. So his first flight. His means seagulls first. So first time flight. Flight means the process of flying through the air. Right? So let's start the text. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. So there was a young seagull and he was alone on his ledge. What is ledge? A narrow horizontal shelf projecting from a wall or here a cliff. Means kind of hill, right? Cliff. So a young seagull was alone, was sitting alone, right? On his ledge, on the cliff. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. So his two brothers and his sister, they had already flown away. Fly, flew, flown. So flown away the day before. One day before, they had already flown away. And he was deserted. He was alone. Who? That seagull. Right? He had been afraid to fly with them. Yes. So the point is, why was he alone? Because he had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. So somehow, when he had taken a little run forward, so when he moved forward to the brink of the ledge, brink means the edge of the ledge, okay, that edge of the cliff. So when he moved to the edge of the cliff and tried to flap his wings. Flap means that movement of wings, right? He became afraid. He got afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath that cliff, okay? So the sea was stretched, okay, in a great expanse. And it was such a long way down, miles down. So the sea was stretched miles down the ledge or cliff. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So he was sure that his wings would never support him, would never back him. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. So, when he understood that his wings would not support him, he bent his head and ran away back, retreated, went back to the little hole under the ledge, kind of nest, okay? So where he would sleep at night. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were not so big as his wings, right? Still, they moved to the edge of the cliff or ledge and then flapped their wings and flew away. He failed to muster up courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. He failed to muster up. Muster means to gain, okay, to collect courage, okay, to take that plunge, to leap, right? And he failed to gain that courage, which appeared to him so desperate. He was desperate to do that, but he failed to gain that courage to plunge, to leap, right? His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him stir on his ledge unless he flew away. His father and mother, his parents, had come around him, calling to him shrilly. Shrilly means in harsh voice, in harsh manner, upbraiding him, scolding him, threatening him, right? Threatening him for what? To let him stir on his ledge. They were saying, if you don't fly, then we will not give you food. You have to stir, right? Unless he flew away. So they were threatening him. They were scolding him, right? They were not talking in a soft voice, but in shrill voice. But for the life of him, he could not move. But he was not able to move. That was 24 hours ago. Right? Since then, nobody had come near him. So they threatened him and they did not come near him. They means his parents, his brothers, his sister. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. The day before, all day long, he had watched, he had observed his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters. They were flying, okay, and perfecting them means teaching them, teaching their other two sons and daughter. What? How to skim. Skim means to move lightly just above a surface. For what? So if you fly just above the surface of the wave, only then you can catch fish and you can get food. That's why perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish, dive, how to jump for fish. And he had, in fact, seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it. So then he observed, he noticed that his brother just caught one herring, the first herring, he was hunting, right? So first time he caught one herring and devoured it. Devour means ate up greedily, that's devouring. Standing on a rock while his parents circled around, raising a proud cackle. And standing on a rock while his parents circled around that his brother and raising a proud cackle, means kind of victory. So they were enjoying. Cackling means kind of making noise to celebrate the occasion that their son was able to catch a herring. So he learned how to catch a fish. And all the morning the whole family had worked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. So on the opposite side of that ledge of that cliff in a big plateau, and they were just moving here and there, and they were taunting him, mocking at him for his cowardice, for his that kind of spirit that he was not able to fly, he was coward, and for that they were taunting him. Right? The sun was now ascending the sky. Ascending means going upwards, right? Blazing on his ledge that faced the south. Blazing on, right? Means kind of heat. So on his ledge that faced the south, he felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall, and he felt the heat of the sun because he didn't eat anything from the previous nightfall. Why? Because everyone deserted him. That's why. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge. So he was going slowly to the out of the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg with other leg hidden under his wing. So, and he was standing on one leg, another leg he was hiding in another leg in his wing, and he closed one eye, then the other. So he was kind of pretending to sleep and pretended to be falling asleep. Means he was showing to his family that he was sleeping. Still they took no notice of him. Means he was trying to show that he was sleeping without a mere morsel, means without eating a single bit of food. Still they didn't take care of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. So the way the birds sleep, hiding their necks under the wings, right? So again they were sleeping, dozing. Okay, his father was preening the feathers on his white back. Preening means maintaining or making an effort to maintain the feathers. Okay, so maintaining the feathers, and only his mother was looking at him. So no one was caring about him, only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau. Hump means kind of the kind of hump. So the humps that they are on the road you find. So on the plateau there was a kind of hump. Means kind of hilly area, right? So and there his mother was standing and looking at him. Her white breast thrust forward. So she was keeping her white front upward. Now and again, she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet. And now and again means at the time she was tearing a fish, right, that she kept at her feet, and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. And after tearing the fish, then she was scraping, right, sharpening actually her beak, right, on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. Okay, maddened means he was so much hungry that after seeing the food, he became mad. How he loved to tear food that way, means he wanted to tear the food that way, scraping his beak now and again to whet it. He wanted to scrap his beak, okay, to whet it, to sharpen it, so that they can catch the fish easily, right? So I will stop here and I will continue the next part in the next class. Thank you.